Welcome back to CBS This Morning. We're following the latest on Hurricane Florence as it makes landfall near Wilmington, North Carolina. The powerful Category 1 hurricane is lashing the coast with massive storm surge. And as Gayle pointed out, many people may not know what a storm surge is. That is just rushing water coming in very fast. Floodwaters up to 10 feet deep are reported in New Bern, North Carolina. Hundreds of people have been pulled from flooded homes and cars. A 24-hour curfew is now in effect. Firefighters rescued 70 people from a hotel that sustained heavy damage in Jacksonville, North Carolina. More than 300,000 customers are currently without power in the Carolinas.
You know, Bianna, you mentioned the storm surge, and the Associated Press has one of these facts that kind of reframes the way you think about things. We talked to Mayor Outlaw in New Bern. He said, you know, even he recognized some complacency in people. Part of that was people heard Category 2. Well, that's not as bad as Category 4 and 5. Category, turns out the wind speed is not the thing that causes the mayhem. Here from the Associated Press, 49% of U.S. hurricane deaths come from that storm surge. Only 6% of the deaths come from, or 8% of the deaths come from wind. So everybody focuses on the category, rightly so. Of course, wind can knock down trees and power lines and all of that, but the deaths come from the storm surge and that rush of water, and that's what's caught up
Deadliest part of the storm.
And when it's 10 feet high, you understand that. So in this particular case, don't pay close attention to the category. Worry about the storm surge. Now let's go right back to the hurricane zone. CBS Evening News anchor Jeff Glor is leading our coverage. He's there in Wilmington, North Carolina. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Gayle, and we are awaiting landfall here in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's been so difficult to figure out exactly when it actually does make landfall because the storm has been moving so slowly offshore. And because of that, as you mentioned, John makes a great point. It is not just the wind, and the wind is obviously very bad here right now. The rain is coming sideways, down, and up. But it is that storm surge, and it's the flooding, and it's not just the surge and the flooding, it's the people attempting to drive into the water specifically that typically can cause most of the injuries and unfortunately deaths in hurricanes like this, and in some cases because that water comes up so quickly. Here in Wilmington, it started getting real bad just after midnight. It's gotten progressively worse as the morning has gone on here. And again, what we're ready for, again, we're in an open, clear area, as safe as you can be. We do have shelter right nearby, as safe as you can be in this spot. If it gets to a point where we need to go inside, we will do that. But we've been watching what's happening here, and the issue, again, for everyone along the coast is the length of this storm. I think they're talking about at least 2 to 4 feet of a storm surge here in Wilmington, if not more. Others have dealt with far worse at this point, and that's when it comes up so fast. Again, landfall approaching here. We've gotten some of the worst of the winds. If it hits us, makes landfall right here, we should get an area of relative calm for a little bit there when we're in the middle of the eye. And then it gets bad once again. Guys, back to you in studio.
It's bad and it hasn't even hit landfall yet. Jeff, please be careful. Here are 3 things. Yeah, we mean that. We want the story, but we also want you.